Hi, this is Tim and Karen from Stamping on the Back Porch, and this is our podcast where we talk about all things paper crafting, creativity, and life.
Today we're going to talk about our journey into paper crafting. Sometimes we get asked, how in the world did you guys end up doing this podcast? What is the story behind this? So if you have this question,
Now you're going to
this
get
is
the
it.
answer.
This is it. It all started in 1996 when Tim was working in the field of adolescent chemical dependency and I was homeschooling.
And there was all kinds of changes going on in the program that I was working. And my job, as I knew it, was eliminated, and it was time to move on.
And he had loved his job. What he did was to work with the families, and that was the part he absolutely loved. So, Tim loves working with people.
Yeah, people person, families, community,
Yeah.
all kinds of fun
And
things.
supporting parents and what they were going through.
Yep.
So it felt like a dark time when we were going through this, but without having that happen, we wouldn't be doing this today. So at that time, I knew I needed to look for another job a couple evenings a week while Tim was job hunting. So that very same week, I hosted a stamping party. I never hosted a direct sales party because I'm just not a party giver. But we were looking for some fresh ideas to do with our preteen girls. We did some fun things the last Friday of every month, and someone said, "Ooh, learning to stamp would be fun." So I hosted it because it had that reason, and it was very fun. At the end of the evening, two of my friends said that they would like to host a party. Now, mind you, we hadn't made anything. We just watched the woman make it. But the demonstrator said, "I'm as busy as I want to be. I'm going to give these parties to my brand new recruit." And the light bulb went on for me. I turned to my friends and said, "You guys know I need a job. Would you care if I tried this?"
And they said, yes.
I said, "Go
No.
for it." Now, I would have never considered doing direct sales because I was unbelievably shy. And I would have never stood up and, had you watching me while I explained the benefits of something. This was the first thing that I thought, I think I could sit at a table and be making things because people are watching what I'm making and they're doing it with my hands. So it was just kind of an interesting switch on that.
She took baby steps to get to the point of doing
Yes.
these kinds of things.
Yes. So now keep in mind, I had never stamped, but it looked that hard. I was a quilter. Quilting has been my other love. And so what appealed to me about the cards was still working with patterns and colors and, design, those elements. And after all, it didn't look so hard. So my kit came, and 2 days after that, I had a string of parties booked. So I got together with my sister to just make some cards. And for 2 days, we were both making cards, and then we would hold it up and say, "How about this one?" and give it a thumbs down. Oh my goodness, that was a long 2 days. So I was really dreading my first party, but we pulled through. Now at this time, this was way before Pinterest back in 96. So some of you go back that far and know what I mean.
And it was really before all of the social media stuff.
Oh yeah, now there's
And
ideas galore.
Stamping up online and all that.
Yeah, and there was one stamping store that I looked up and found. So I went in, but all of their samples were this lovely embossing and then watercolored. Well, I wasn't anywhere near ready for that. So I went ahead and did this anyway, and it worked. Now, of course, a lot of us talk about this. We wish we'd kept some of those early cards. I'm sure we would be so embarrassed by them. So if you kept yours, that's fortunate. Love to hear about it. And, card making has come so far since then, but that's a story for another time. We'll cover that another time. So anyway, my business grew, and soon I was working full-time and had a full-time income. Being self-employed, though, and having 5 kids made health insurance a big problem for us. We were paying a lot of money for very little in coverage. And after a particularly devastating year medically, we were trying to figure out what to do, and we heard that
Working 20 hours a week at Starbucks would give you benefits. Health and life and everything else is really a good deal.
You went in the very next day.
I did. And was interviewed, and I got hired on Christmas Eve. And I started out at 98th and Lindale in Bloomington, and then I moved to the store that I retired at 16 years later.
So for years, I was doing 3 parties a week and also classes in my home. And I had a great group of friends and through my customers and downline, it was all just really fun. But as I was getting older, I was just trying to think of what do I want things to look like. I really wanted more freedom. I wanted to be able to travel more. I wanted more winter evenings to not have to go out at night and just to be freer to make different choices and not be tied to a schedule that I'd already, mapped out months before. So the obvious solution was to go online, but I had two daunting fears about that. The first being technology. In your 60s, how do you start figuring out all this tech? So I figured out what I needed to mostly, painfully slowly, took a lot of time and effort, but I figured out a lot of things. And now I have a virtual assistant, and boy, that makes a world of difference. When I need to figure something else, I just tell her to figure it out, and then she can teach me if I need to, or she can take care of it. So I have loved that. My second issue was, how do you build community online? Does it really work? Because, I feel like what we've always been known for is building community. Even in my classes, Tim has always been there serving coffee, serving tea. He's always,
I'm Tim.
he's just, part of that part of my business. And so it just made it easy. Number one, I didn't have to think about doing those things, but also it really helped people want to come because it was just a fun environment. So
And that makes sense, but the idea of doing it online, that's a little different.
Yes. And about 2 years ago, when we realized that we really didn't need, we hit that Medicare age, so we really didn't need the Starbucks insurance anymore. We decided it makes more sense to Tim come home, and we work together on this. We combine our things. So our new business model became, we rent a church several times a year, and we do bigger events. And there,
I work for Karen, serving coffee,
cleaning, said I got them taken down too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm the gopher, the grunt.
Yep. And mixing with people, just talking
Yeah.
and making comments, which is really awesome. Then I have a group of 10 women and then another woman that comes another night that all help me with cutting paper, putting together card packets, and once a week. And for that,
I cook,
I think they come for us cooking as much as possible.
and I make coffee from Starbucks.
Yeah, so he's just serving us and it's really fun, and he often tries new recipes. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, just like his card making, but it's all good. It's part of the fun. You never know what you're going to get with Tim.
That's right.
And the most important change we made is we started doing Facebook Live together. That has made absolutely the biggest difference in our online business, and we have found we can build community doing this.
One time together, the next time Karen did it by herself, and that community said, "Where's Tim?"
So I told Tim, okay, you're part of the show now, so we're a team. But that really makes it fun. And then we have this online community, the Back Porch Stampers, which is just really an avid group. But just going back and forth and getting to know people, and now as we travel, meeting as many people as we can. We love our online community, and we love that it can work this way and that we can help other people develop online community too and welcome them to ours. So, because we love doing this, the whole community aspect, and because we talk to so many card makers all over and in our travels and online, and we learn so much from each other, not just about card making, but all kinds of things we talk about, we just decided to branch out and start this podcast all about card making, creativity, and life. So if you aren't a part of our community already, we just welcome you in. We love getting to know our followers. And that is the story of how we got here today. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.